and welcome to MTV's news update for today, October 25, 2022. I'm Ashley Scotland. First, our top headlines. Nandlal says NRA will refine the process to remove names from the voters list. BOI recommends suspending license of pilot for 2 years. Guyana and Grenada enhanced partnership. And in sport, table tennis and badminton to finally get home. Now for the news in detail. Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal assured that amendments to the National Registration Act will refine the electoral process and will not give any political party an advantage at the elections. Jessica Callender reports.
National stakeholder consultations on draft amendments to the electoral laws, specifically in regards to amending the Representation of the People's Act, ROPA, and National Registration Act, NRA, were held today. This is the third consultation and comes almost a year after the first consultation began. Addressing representatives of 157 civil society organizations, Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal took the opportunity to address calls from the opposition for a clean voters list. The opposition had repeatedly voiced concerns claiming the voters list was bloated with deceased voters and said they would not accept it. Nandlal says the list will not be scrapped, but noted that proposed amendments would ensure that voters are removed from the list on a regular basis.
That is now being put in the law. Apparently there is some administrative arrangement in existence, which I don't know whether is being followed. But I am telling you, I am a lawyer. I could only deal with what the legal position is. What is abundantly clear and beyond disputation is that you cannot scrap the existing database or the existing list of electors and start a new one.
The proposed new amendments to the National Registration Act are labeled as new sections 8A and 8B. It proposes that every month a list of all persons 14 years and more who have died will be sent by the Registrar General to the Commissioner to be cancelled from the voters list.
GCOM has had an arrangement. I don't know whether they are, and it's a matter for GCOM whether they are complying with that arrangement, but we are putting it in the law, as I will explain in due course, to remove the dead person's names as a mandatory obligation. That correspondence must come from the Registrar of Deaths, Births and Deaths to the Chief Elections Officer, the Chief Registration Officer, and the entries are to be made.
Senior counsel went on to defend that the proposed legislations are essential to preserving democracy and not for political advantage to any parties.
The important thing that I want to emphasize here is that there is not a single proposals on these pieces of paper that are intended to create an electoral advantage for any political party. And I want to stress and emphasize that 100 times. And I've said that more than a year ago. And I've said also that if there is any person who can point to me or to us as a collective a particular provision that creates an electoral advantage for any political party, we are prepared to engage and engage publicly too.
Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gail Teixeira also highlighted at the forum that the constitutional reform process for the bill currently before the National Assembly is expected to begin early next year. Reporting for MTV's News Update, Jessica Callender.
The Board of Inquiry that was commissioned to investigate the circumstance that led to the MV Tradewind Passion colliding with the Demerara Harbour Bridge has recommended the pilot license be suspended for 2 years. More in this report.
The Board of Inquiry that was established to investigate the fuel vessel which crashed into the Demerara Harbour Bridge handed over its report last week to Public Works Minister Juan Edghill. The Board of Inquiry has recommended that pilot Kenneth Kurt, who was on the Tradewind Passion, to be suspended for a period of not less than 24 months and only be allowed to return to duty after a recertification and assessment of his competency to operate as a pilot by the Maritime Administration. It further recommended pilots should be subject to annual medical fitness tests including vision, hearing tests, and periodical psychological evaluation of all transit pilots. The Board of Inquiry found that the captain failed to assume command of the vessel in a timely manner and maneuver the ship safely into the channel and through the transit. The contract pilot and captain also failed to effectively utilize all navigation tools for the safe maneuverability of the vessel. Reports indicate that around 2 hours on October 8th, the fuel vessel which transports fuel for the Guyana Oil Company, while heading south, crashed into the Demerara Harbour Bridge, despite desperate calls to drop anchor from the shift supervisor, Andy Duke.
You're watching MTV's News Update. More news on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Are you running around looking for construction materials? Well, run down to Lens for affordable, high-quality building supplies. We have the widest range of grade A floor and wall tiles in any shape, size, and designs. And all types of ceramics, porcelain glazed, and full-body porcelain. We stock the largest collection of large format tiles. Check out our porcelain slabs as big as 10 feet by 4.5 feet. Add a bit of elegance with our large range of decorative molding. Our line of PPG paints will give you vibrant colors that won't fade. With our wall and ceiling gypsum system, it's light, durable, and fast. So come down to Lens at 136 Sher Street, which is next to Buddy's and Pizza Hut, for that 31 years of Lens quality.
It happens. Your septic tank is full. All the waste from your toilet goes into your septic tank through the sewage line. When your tank is full, the two most common indicators are an overflowing tank and an overflowing toilet. It is recommended that Sevon's Waste Management empty your septic tank every 2 to 3 years to avoid any embarrassment. And before you can say, shh, it's gone. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1156.
Live your fantasy at Fantasy Gaming Lounge. Win big daily. Millions in cash prizes every week. Now located at Giftland Mall, Fantasy Gaming Lounge, the best bet in town.
Hello, homeowners and painters. We're happy with the response we've gotten. Thank you. As such, we're now offering a multi-surface roof, floor, and wall polyurethane paint at a special reduced price of $2,500 per 1.5 gallons bucket. This paint can be used on wood, concrete, zinc, and metal. Don't forget we have a new shipment of oil paint with shades such as Morning Glory, Nantucket Grey, White, and many more familiar shades to choose from. The water-based paint at $3,600 per gallon and the oil-based paint for $4,300 per gallon. Come into our showroom to view the colors and let's beautify our surroundings. Global sales and distribution, lot 140B, Quabbin Street, opposite King's Jewelry World between Waterloo and Carmichael Street. Look for the red front building. Telephone 504-3908 or 622-0601. Regent and Royal Paints, created for you at the most competitive price. See you soon!
Farmers and the members of the public in general are being advised that tampering with drainage and irrigation structures in any way is prohibited under the Drainage and Irrigation Act. So too are practices that result in damage to access dams, such as using an inadequate length of tube to irrigate farmlands, resulting in erosion of the earthen dams. Also contrary to the Drainage and Irrigation Act is the practice of erecting structures or planting on government reserves. This will not be condoned. These reserves are to be clear at all times to provide access for the excavation of the channels. Livestock farmers should also be aware that they are liable for any damages caused by their cattle or swine to dams or reserves alongside D&I channels, as is the case when the animals cross these channels. Individuals wishing to erect bridges across D&I structures should first contact the NDIA before doing so. Those found guilty under the Act are liable to fines and imprisonment for up to 3 months. A message from the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, Ministry of Agriculture.
You can be a millionaire! millionaire by only spending $100 on a Daily Million ticket. Simply pick any 5 numbers from 1 to 26, or you can buy a quick pick for your chance to win the Daily Millions. Purchase your tickets daily, Monday through Saturday, to get a chance to win $1 million every day. So, feeling lucky? Then buy a Daily Millions ticket today. Remember, a ticket today could make you rich today.
The writers of this program are depending on my ethnic but non-threatening voice to explain things they are too lazy to set up traditionally. Only 2 months into the semester.
Marcus, I was watching that. What's the matter with you?
Noreen, why you have all these things plugged in, man? You really don't check them bills, you know? You know the cost of electricity?
Marcus, you can't be so ridiculous. That's the fridge. Why would you unplug the fridge?
I don't understand why the cost of electricity is so high in this country, man. Somebody has to do something.
Marcus, you know what I realize? Something is really wrong with you. How are we supposed to live without electricity?
Hello, just like our ancestors survived back in the days.
I will have you know, Marcus, Noreen Angela Melville is not cut out for that type of life.
And already the 9th Ivy League squad buzz with future Olympians and presidents.
Did you know the Gas to Energy project is expected to reduce the cost of electricity by up to 50%? Yes, that project will slash electricity bills in half. This will also unleash a tsunami of benefits for the manufacturing sector in Guyana.
Wow. Marcos, did you hear that? Electricity will be cheaper. Now, Marcus, for the love of God, plug the fridge back in.
For the admissions brochure.
This is MTV's News Update. Welcome back. Survivors of breast cancer and those closest to them were today treated at School of the Nations in a brunch and fun activity, which saw them being treated to brunch and tokens. Details from Jessica Calendar.
65-year-old Lloyd Cameron was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer in the 1900s. Today, Cameron is the healthiest he's been in decades, and thanks to the brunch and fun activity by School of the Nations, he was able to come out and celebrate his triumphs after struggling with his condition.
And well, like the meals that in at this present time see and know what's going on and turn out. I feel that men supposed to put themselves more into it.
He was speaking at the event hosted by the Primary Department of School of the Nations in collaboration with the School of the Nations Interact Club. Survivors were gifted tokens and treated to a buffet brunch while enjoying empowering music and films. The women were also treated to nail designs by some students. Cameron noted that he is especially grateful for activities such as these during Breast Cancer Awareness Month that not only raise awareness but also celebrate survivors for overcoming their struggles.
Well, I'm feeling real happy to be here within this beautiful ladies. I'm the only male during my time that I'm going through with my cancer. I always like to be happy, and I will always try to be happy, and being in on this occasion is happiness for me.
Primary school principal Mishka Griffith and literary specialist Belinda Innes, organizers of the event, plan to make it an annual activity.
Cancer is a disease that has touched everyone, be it a family, a friend, and it's something that makes us reflect as to the importance of life.
Many of them, they have survived, but it's still a struggle. It's still a struggle, but they're able to, as Miss said, get up in the mornings, get dressed, and come here. So when we look at them, we see strength. And when we look at them, we see courage. We look at them, and today is our chance to say, the Family School of the Nation celebrates you.
Reporting for MTV's News Update, Jessica Calendar.
Founder of the Deaf Association of Guyana, Sabine McIntosh, says that deaf persons often remain jobless even after they would have obtained skills training. She believes service training programs will be a better option because these persons are oftentimes discriminated. More in this report.
The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security has implemented several initiatives to provide skills training to persons with disabilities over the years. However, founder of the Deaf Association of Guyana, Sabine McIntosh, said while many deaf persons now possess these skills to be an active part of the workforce, they are often mistreated.
Places for the boys who employed the boys and gave them training through BIT, they treated them very badly. They said yes, they will keep them just for pittance. So that was so they have that skill, but they weren't able to apply it. They're not applying it now because they weren't absorbed in the working environment.
She added that some women and girls in the deaf community were trained in sewing and showed much promise and skill in this field.
It was kind of heartbreaking because we weren't able to find a market for their sewing.
McIntosh is now advocating for in-service training programs as opposed to skills training, since the wealth of skills possessed by persons within the deaf community are heavily underutilized. She said arrangements such as student work attachments should be accessible for younger deaf persons as a form of career guidance for them to effectively transition into the workforce. Some businesses such as Sterling Products Limited, General Equipment Guyana Limited, and the Guyana Marriott Hotel currently employ deaf persons in the workforce. McIntosh is also urging other businesses to follow this example. McIntosh says employers are not willing to accommodate persons who are deaf, even when they are more than capable of doing the job, except for low-income entry-level positions such as porters or backpackers.
The sad thing is that as it is now, deaf students' expectations is very, very low. You know, they say, oh, what do you want to be? Well, they only know, they see other deaf what they're doing. So they, oh, I want to be in the supermarket, I want to do, you know, the packer, you know, packs your groceries.
Yeah.
And that is not because they can't do better. It's just because what they see around them.
The Office of the First Lady recently turned the sod in August for a first-of-its-kind state-of-the-art business center for persons with disabilities, which will be built in Palmyra Village, East Berbice, Quarantine. This center will focus on training in product manufacturing and retailing. Reporting for MTV's News Update, Jessica Calendar.
More news coming up after the break. Stay with us.
Are you building or renovating your home? Then come to Beeson for a wide range of aluminum and UPVC windows and doors. Get from single hung sash, awning, casement, sliding windows, plus sliding and swinging doors. All our products can be customized and fitted with insect screens and are sealed tight to withstand harsh weather conditions. At Beeson, we also carry commercial, glass and French doors, showcases, aluminum louvers, curtain walls, aluminum rails, plus sliding and frameless shower doors. So look no further. Visit our showroom today at Lot 1228 Eccles Industrial Site or call 622-4197 or 623-4197. Beeson Windows and Doors, built with pride in Guyana by Guyanese.
There are 9 food-based dietary guidelines in Guyana for you to follow and live a healthy life. Guidelines 5 and 6 deals with sugar and salt consumption. An important step we can take to watch our sugar and salt consumption is to read food labels. This is very important as there are a lot of sugars and salt in many of the foods we eat and drink. So when we are reading the labels, we need to look, for instance, at the sugar content and the amount stated, and multiply that by the servings per container to know the total sugar in the product. Or we look at the salt or sodium content and the amount stated and multiply that by the servings per container to know the total salt in the product. The daily recommended amount of added sugar for males and females should be 6 teaspoons or less, and the daily recommended amount of salt should be less than 1 teaspoon. For instance, the amount of sugar in this size of soft drink could be as much as 16 teaspoons, and in this kind of drink as much as 10 teaspoons. Please, let's pay attention to what we are eating, as overconsumption of unhealthy foods leads to many illnesses, including high blood pressure, obesity, and heart disease. Come on, Guyana, Let's use the food-based dietary guidelines to reach for a better life with good health.
Hi, my name is Jaden Softly, and I'm very excited to have G20 set up this fiber cable. As you can see, I'm young, so I'll be using this Wi-Fi, this internet, to be doing my everyday browsing and searching and, you know, just my homework and assignments, playing games, watching YouTube, you know, the regular stuff. I really enjoy this service. I think it's extremely great, and you also have like the free minutes. So for that, you know, if you're in trouble, you call your parents or someone.
The Ministry of Agriculture invites you to join in celebration of Agriculture Month 2022 under the theme Championing Food Security Through Innovation, Investment and Resilience. This year's celebration kicks off with an interfaith service in the compound of the Ministry of Agriculture on Monday, October 3. Highlights of Agriculture Month this year includes the open day activities featuring the various agencies of the Ministry of Agriculture, farmers market days across the country, and a Women and Youth in Agriculture Symposium. There will also be the annual World Food Day celebrations on October 16. Agriculture Month 2022 under the theme Championing Food Security Through Innovation, Investment and Resilience. Visit the Ministry of Agriculture's Facebook page for a more detailed schedule of events.
Saturday, October 29th, Brassman, Grambling, Sandroad, Suicide will come alive when 592 Movement in Highway Cafe present the big show and jam car. Chutney Meat Soap, the lineup top, Hikari Singh, Up and Gone Away, Jomo Primo, I live in my life, Carlin Burnett, Bonita Willie, and Petty Kish will take the stage live. One Boy's Family, One Lake, and Silver Star's gonna juggle. Early bird tickets $1,000, gates $1,500. Chutney Meat Soca, Saturday, October 29th in Soosdijk.
The Gift Centre, conveniently located at 46 Hatfield Street opposite the White Castle Fish Shop, we are the best place to find quality products for yourself, your home, or a friend. Display your cherished memories in the perfect picture frame. Shop from a great selection of accessories for men, such as belts, wallets, and more. And for the women, find a great selection of handbags to suit your taste. Choose your signature scent or a timeless classic from our wide array of ladies and gents designer fragrances. We offer a range of innovative games that will guarantee you many hours of unspeakable fun. Enhance the decor of your home with beautiful lamps and unique wall art, just to name a few. The Gift Centre, where quality is never compromised.
Hello, homeowners and painters. We're happy with the response we've gotten. Thank you. As such, we're now offering the multi-surface roof, floor, and wall polyurethane paint at a special reduced price of $2,500 per 1.5 gallons bucket. This paint can be used on wood, concrete, zinc, and metal. Don't forget we have a new shipment of oil paint with shades such as Morning Glory, Nantucket Grey or White, and many more familiar shades to choose from. The water-based paint at $3,600 per gallon and the oil-based paint for $4,300 per gallon. Come into our showroom to view the colors and let's beautify our surroundings. Global sales and distribution, lot 140B, Quamina Street, opposite King's Jewelry World between Waterloo and Carmichael Street. Look for the red front building. Telephone 504-3908 or 622-0601. Regent and Royal Paints, created for you at the most competitive price. See you soon!
You're tuned to MTV's News Update. Foreign Secretary Robert Prasad last week met with Joseph Andlal, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export Development of Grenada, to discuss enhanced bilateral cooperation between Guyana and Grenada in several areas. The Foreign Secretary lauded the Guyana-Grenada relations and highlighted the need for enhanced collaboration in regional integration efforts within the Caribbean community. During the discussion, he also addressed Grenada's support for President Ali's Regional Food Security Agenda, which will see countries within CARICOM import bill reduced by 25% by 2025. The issues faced by Guyanese living in Grenada were also discussed. During his visit, the Foreign Secretary met with the Guyanese diaspora, some of whom migrated since the 1970s and 1980s from Guyana. Grenada has a small Guyanese population who has been contributing to the service and education sectors in the country. At the meeting, Prasad also emphasized the opportunities and developments currently ongoing in Guyana and the benefits and importance of the collective diaspora. Now for tonight's code roundup.
In another matter, a 37-year-old farmer who was busted with $489 million worth of marijuana at Devault Savannah in the Berbice River was on Tuesday remanded to prison. Richard Richie Burnett of Burari Village, Upper Berbice River, was hauled before Magistrate Renita Singh at the New Amsterdam Magistrates Court. He denied the charge and was remanded to prison until December 6, 2022. Police had said that a joint narcotics eradication exercise by law enforcement agencies at Devault Savannah led to the discovery of the marijuana and 2 shotguns. During the exercise, 1 marijuana farm, 2 camps, and 2 drying areas were located. The farm measured about 4 acres with about 20,000 cannabis plants measuring from 6 inches to 2 feet. Burnett was found on the farm attending to the cannabis plants and was arrested. When the ranks searched the first camp, a suspected 12-gauge shotgun was loaded with 3 live cartridges and documents belonging to the farmer. A search was also conducted on the second camp, where a suspected 12-gauge shotgun and 4 live 12-gauge cartridges were found. Searches were then conducted on the 2 drying areas, and a quantity of dry cannabis was found with an estimated weight of about 800 pounds. A gasoline plow, several farming tools, and a spray can were also found in the camp. The plants, cannabis, and drying areas, farming tools, and spray were all destroyed by fire. Reporting for MTV's Court Roundup, I am Shamar Alice. Well-known TikToker Lisa Ramnarine was on Tuesday morning granted $350,000 bail by Senior Magistrate Leron Daly. When Ramnarine appeared in the Georgetown Magistrates Court, her lawyer Bernard De Silva made an application for bail, which was granted. As a result, the matter was adjourned to January 2nd, 2023. Ramnarine of Hague, West Coast, Demerara, had pleaded not guilty to the charge, which stated that on June 7, 2022, at DHL Express, 55th Street, Alberton, Georgetown, she had 540 grams of cocaine for the purpose of trafficking. MTV News Update previously reported that ranks of Kanu, acting on information received, went to DHL headquarters, where they intercepted a parcel containing a Hindu Havana cunt, as well as other religious items. Upon examining the items, the suspected cocaine was found in a hidden compartment of the cunt. The sender's information was retrieved by ranks, leading to Ramnarine's arrest. She was escorted to Kanu's headquarters, where the item was dismantled in her presence and tested positive for cocaine. The court heard testimonies from 5 persons in this case.
We now take a look at tips for healthy living with Norman Gobin.
Here's everything you need to know about tuberculosis. What is tuberculosis? Tuberculosis, or TB, is a bacterial infection that spreads through inhaling tiny droplets from the coughs or sneezes of an infected person. It mainly affects the lungs, but it can also affect any part of the body, including the tummy, abdomen, glands, bones, and nervous system. TB is a potentially serious condition, but it can be cured if it's treated with the right antibiotics. Signs and symptoms. If you've contracted TB, then you might exhibit some or all of the following symptoms. A persistent cough that lasts for more than 3 weeks and usually brings up phlegm, which may be bloody. Weight loss, night sweats, high temperature, tiredness and fatigue, loss of appetite. If you suspect TB, then you should probably visit a doctor to receive a proper diagnosis. Causes. In most healthy people, the body's natural defense against infection and illnesses, that is, the immune system, kills the bacteria and there are no symptoms. Sometimes the immune system cannot kill the bacteria, but manages to prevent it from spreading in the body. You will not have any symptoms, but the bacteria will remain in your body. This is known as latent TB. People with latent TB are not infectious to others. If the immune system fails to kill or contain the infection, it can spread within the lungs or other parts of the body, and symptoms will develop within a few weeks or months. This is known as active TB. Latent TB could develop into an active TB disease at a later date, particularly if your immune system becomes weakened. Treatment. With treatment, TB can almost always be cured. A course of antibiotics will usually need to be taken for 6 months. Several different antibiotics are used because some forms of TB are resistant to certain antibiotics. If you're diagnosed with pulmonary TB, you'll be contagious for about 2 to 3 weeks into your course of treatment. You will not usually need to be isolated during this time, but it's important to take some basic precautions to stop the infection from spreading to your family and friends, such as wearing a mask or partial self-isolation. Of course, there is also the option of being vaccinated for TB. The BCG vaccine offers protection against TB and is recommended for babies, children, and adults under the age of 35 who are considered to be at risk of catching TB. The BCG vaccine is not routinely given to anyone over the age of 35, as there is no evidence that it works for people in that age group.
The ISG and MTV's Sport Update comes up after the break. Stay tuned.
There are 9 food-based dietary guidelines in Guyana for you to follow and live a healthy life. Guidelines 5 and 6 deals with sugar and salt consumption. An important step we can take to watch our sugar and salt consumption is to read food labels. This is very important as there are a lot of sugars and salt in many of the foods we eat and drink. So when we are reading the labels, we need to look, for instance, at the sugar content and the amount stated, and multiply that by the servings per container to know the total sugar in the product. Or we look at the salt or sodium content and the amount stated and multiply that by the servings per container to know the total salt in the product. The daily recommended amount of added sugar for males and females should be 6 teaspoons or less, and the daily recommended amount of salt should be less than 1 teaspoon. For instance, the amount of sugar in this size of soft drink could be as much as 16 teaspoons, and in this kind of drink as much as 10 teaspoons. Please, let's pay attention to what we are eating, as overconsumption of unhealthy foods leads to many illnesses, including high blood pressure, obesity, and heart disease. Come on, Guyana, let's use the food-based dietary guidelines to reach for a better life with good health.
Why you minding me business? I noticed you yesterday, you're there watching. Today you're there here again. Why you minding me business? I'm fed up with your nosy self.
Girl, baby, I just love your windows.
Why you bad eyeing me window? Like your house in a window? What kind of window really in your house?
I got some old louvers windows that I need to change.
Louvers? That's that it? People still got louvers window. Girl, I let you in for a secret, right? Beeson got a special deal right now. You go down there, you buy 10 window, you get a free bathroom window. Oh, for the love of God, throw away them louvers window and go down to Beeson and modernize.
Beeson Windows and Doors, serving Guyana with the highest quality windows for your home, office, or commercial building.
The Central Housing and Planning Authority has employed the services of rangers, and we're kindly asking you, the members of the public, for your full cooperation as we seek to bring order and semblance to communities under our management. Our rangers are responsible for the monitoring of schemes for contravention under the Town and Country Planning Act an agreement of sales issued to allottees, responding appropriately to reports made by members of the public or allottees in schemes where there are illegal activities in contravention of the CHMPA's policies and the Town and Country Planning Act, to undertake investigations into report on the misuse of the roads, squatting, animal nuisance and dumping of garbage and derelict vehicles in schemes, issue notices for illegal construction and letters regarding penalties to be paid for the storage of materials on the roads within our schemes. Our rangers will be properly identifiable at all times, as they have all been outfitted with the agency's badge. From time to time, they will be in your community, so in order for them to function effectively and better serve you, your cooperation is needed.
A message from the Central Housing and Planning Authority.
Hi, my name is Jaden Softly, and I'm very excited to have GT&T set up this fiber cable. As you can see, I'm young, so I'll be using this Wi-Fi, this internet, to be doing my everyday browsing and searching and, you know, just my homework and assignments, playing games, watching YouTube, you know, the regular stuff. I really enjoy this service. I think it's extremely great. And you also have like the free minutes. So for that, you know, if you're in trouble, you call your parents or someone.
Modern Optical Service has made it even better by introducing its budgeted spectacle line, starting as low as $10,000 for single vision lens and $12,000 for bifocal lens, available in tinted or clear, complete spectacles at affordable prices. So hurry down to our main office at 316 Middle Street or Lot 14 Diamond Public Road opposite Demerara Bank. Enjoy over 60 years of eye care experience at affordable prices. Modern Optical Service, your eye care professionals.
Cheryl, girl, you want me? Sorry, I'm interrupting y'all.
Marla, I'm here taking the census.
Girl, you done got a husband already, huh?
Miss, I am a census taker, going door to door so that everyone can be interviewed and counted in the National Census 2022.
What is the census though?
Well, the Population and Housing Census is a count of the population and all the buildings every 10 years.
Getting counted transforms an entire nation.
From Region 1 to Region 10.
You know what? I believe our village needs a health center.
I think it needs some roads too. You see the man boots out there, how it's full of mud, eh?
That's why I'm asking Mrs. De Silva a few questions from our questionnaire. We record the answers and then the data is used to help shape the future of the country.
Oh, so the two y'all not...
Oh gosh.
We counted.
Fibertech materials are used in a multitude of ways, from repairing and fabrication of auto body, fishing and household items. We have available various fiberglass mattings, resin, mold releases, brushes and rollers for all of your repair needs. We offer technical advice and free training to ensure you get the job done. For further information, call us at 220-6907 or 220-9192.
Get the right seal right now from Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., your immediate SKF sealing solutions. The SKF Seal Jet Machine is capable of building seals from 5mm to 600mm in diameter in under 5 minutes. With technical support readily available, you can get a customized seal to suit virtually any industrial application, like buffer, rod, wiper, and piston seals. SKF Seal Jet Machine, now at Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc.
On Monday, Cricket West Indies announced that Phil Simmons will be stepping down from his role as head coach of the West Indies men's team following the team's exit from the ICC Men's T20 World Cup being played in Australia. Following the announcement, CWI CEO Johnny Grave acknowledged the difficult period in which Caribbean cricket finds itself.
Coming off arguably one of their worst performances at an ICC tournament, West Indies made an early exit from this year's T20 World Cup, currently ongoing in Australia, earning only one win in the group stage, resulting in the Caribbean side failing to advance to the Super 12. Cricket West Indies CEO Johnny Graves said the coach expressed disappointment in not being able to guide the team to success at the tournament.
Mainly disappointment that he was handing in his resignation, and disappointment, overwhelming disappointment with the performances, that we hadn't made it through to that second round and done better in the World Cup, which he knows is ultimately what every West Indian fan wanted.
Simmons was at the helm in 2016 when West Indies won their second ICC Men's T20 World Cup title, defeating England at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. Earlier this year, he guided the team's fortunes in their hard-fought 1-0 Test series win over England on home soil to capture the Richards Botham Trophy, and in June a Test series victory against Bangladesh in their last outing. His last assignment will be the upcoming 2 Test series against Australia from November 30th to December 12th. With the post to be vacated after that period, Grave noted that the process leading up to the hiring of the new head coach will be even more scrutinized as CWI seeks to ensure the best candidate is selected for the job.
I think what we're trying to do is trying to be as I guess, sensible and strategic in our review and approach, and try and keep, as difficult it is, the emotions out of it. But you use the period that we've got. We're not playing. The Australia Test series finishes on the 12th of December, and our next assignment is a Test series that begins 4th of February. We've got to use that time to properly plan and strategise for the way forward. We've got to look at all the options that are available to us as we plot a course for that men's senior side in terms of how we take it forward.
Following Windy's exit at the World Cup, many within the region called for changes to be made by the CWI to resolve issues affecting the team's performances at major tournaments. Grave, when asked if more resignations will follow, expects to see a period where management and players reflect on the outcome of their World Cup showing.
Look, I think it's going to be a 2-week period now where everyone, including West Indies fans, but particularly the coaching team and the players involved in that World Cup, have got to reflect and get over their enormous disappointment. It's not often that you will go to a World Cup to represent your region, your country, and a few players have that opportunity in their careers, and our players have effectively blown that opportunity in this recent one. So I think there will be a lot of soul searching in the next 2 weeks.
The Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Charles Ramson Jr., today announced that a new facility will be constructed for table tennis and badminton at the National Racquet Centre in Wolford Avenue. The project will start in a few days and is expected to be completed within 6 months. Minister Ramson said the new facility will be in compliance with international standards to host international tournaments. Guyana Table Tennis Association President Godfrey Monroe thanked the minister for not only this outcome but their continued partnership in facilitating several programs within the last year, and most recently, Guyana's hosting of the Caribbean Regional Table Tennis Federation Mini and Pre-CAD Championship. Similarly, current national coach of the Guyana Badminton Association, Mrs. Amelia Ramdani, expressed gratitude to Minister Ramson and the government of Guyana for their continued investment in sport and the strong relationship working to advance the interests of badminton players in Guyana. Former West Indies captain and all-rounder Kieron Pollard is surprised and disappointed with the team's early exit from the T20 World Cup. Pollard, during a recent radio interview in Trinidad and Tobago, said all the stakeholders must share the blame.
A bit surprised, to be honest, that we wasn't able to get over the line, against the other teams. But again, that speaks volumes of where our cricket is at the moment. And again, I feel it for the guys, because they are the ones that are going to get the bashing, and it's not all their fault.
Following the Caribbean side's embarrassing exit from the ICC T20 World Cup, Cricket West Indies President Ricky Scarrett issued a scathing statement saying a post-mortem would be carried out immediately. Pollard pointed out that the selection process is one of the areas CWI had failed to strengthen.
When I look back at it, I sit back and I have a smile on my face, because I remember some of the things that was said last year around this time, when some individuals weren't selected, and I just had to remind persons that There was a World Cup we are going to and another bilateral series, and now some of the individuals get opportunity to play in the World Cup, and again, look what has happened, and there's no fault of theirs, as I said, but when we try to sort of protect them and let people understand they are not ready, for that, we were lambasted with a lot of things that were said that, was very derogatory.
The former West Indies captain highlighted the lack of experience which played a part in the team's disappointing exit from the tournament.
Experience means a lot, and we take that for granted in the Caribbean. There's been a notion over the years, as soon as you reach a certain age, you should be done away with. And when you have guys in the team, they want you to get you out of the team. And when the guys are not there, they understand the importance of the guys. And this is another situation of not having a couple experienced guys around to help the youngsters and help the youth. Different individuals have been out for different reasons. But I still believe that for things to go, we all need to be on the same page, and we all need to have a proper plan, how we're going to do it. And it's deeper than what we actually see.
The two-time champions West Indies failed to qualify for the Super 12 stage of the T20 showpiece in Australia after suffering defeats to Scotland and Ireland in the first round.
That brings us to the end of Sport Update, which was brought to you with the kind compliments of ISG. More after the break.
Over the years, ISG has been providing all sectors across Guyana with quality products and outstanding customer service. Proud distributor of NP and Ultra lubricants, engineered for tropical conditions. International trucks and parts, leading the change. SEM Machinery, a Caterpillar brand. SKF bearings and mounted products. Napa batteries. Tide power generators. Discover the greatest source of power. Industrial Supply of Guyana Inc. The best opportunity to make the right choice.
And that brings down the curtain on tonight's newscast. But before we go, here is a reminder of our top stories. Nandalal says NRA will refine the process to remove names from the voters list. BOI recommends suspending license of pilot for 2 years. Guyana and Grenada talk enhanced partnership. And in sport, table tennis and badminton to finally get home. Catch our rebroadcast tomorrow at 6 hours 30. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, where the news can be viewed live at 19 hours 30. You can also check out our website at mtvgy.com for these and other stories. On behalf of our news and technical teams, Ashley Scotland saying stay safe and goodbye for now.